working capital is more important than making money. As you want to lock in your trades, you also want to protect your downside at the same time.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of American Dream Trading's live futures and education broadcast. This is an outreach of American Dream Trading. Glad you all could be here. American Dream Trading was founded by Chad Christian, who also owns it, manages it, and it's incorporated as a legal business for over 5 years. We've been live daily for well over 3 years, each and every day on all the major social media networks, all the YouTubes and the Facebooks and the TikToks and you name it. Instagram, if it's one of the major social media, you'll find us there. By the way, you know the routine. If this is your first time here today, click that like, subscribe, and share, and make sure your notification icon is checked so that you do not miss any of our upcoming broadcasts. Glad to have you here today. My name is Mark McSee. I'm one of the more than 20 moderators here at American Dream Trading, and we help keep this place a-running. That's why we have 20 moderators. This is a legal corporation, and it takes a lot of work to keep this monster going. There's a lot of moderators that specialize just on the back end, keeping the business end of everything running, answering help desk tickets, helping people manage their subscriptions and all those different things, making sure everything's running behind. And you got people like me who talk too much and they put in front of a microphone to make best use of that. Now, whether was that best use of that, I don't know. That's yet to be determined, but that's where I'm at. I'm here. They could have found a prettier face, but you know, the prettier faces didn't want to go live on the interwebs. So you get stuck with Mark McSee. Glad to have you all here today. TikTok, you'll see occasionally I will type in some random numbers. Like right now, I'm going to type in 587420 and hit enter. And that will, well, I got to hit the box first. 548710 will appear in your chat box. It'll say ADT Coach, but that's actually me because we share the same corporate American Dream Trading account. It does say ADT Coach, but that's actually me. Glad to have you all here today. We talk about everything investing, day trading, long-term investing, swing trading, cash covered calls and puts, and investing for income, and you name it. If it can be invested in and traded, Coach educates us on how to do all those things every single day, Monday through Friday. And we are live here on all the interwebs, all the social medias, all the .coms, all the whatever they are, however this stuff gets to your phone. I don't know. It's the technology. I'm a boomer. I don't understand how this stuff works. I know there's a bunch of ones and zeros floating around in the interwebs and the interspaces throughout the galaxy, and it gets to you somehow in whatever device you're listening, whether it's your computer, your phone, your tablet, whatever, however you're watching us. And we're glad that you are able to join us. We're live here 3 times a day. Coach is live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday. Those all times are in Eastern time. I'm live here from 2 to 4, Monday through Friday. And we have our aftermarket show starting at 4 p.m. each and every day, Monday through Friday. You'll find that show over on our YouTube channel, which is aptly named American Dream Trading. That starts at 4 o'clock with our lovely host and also another training moderator, Dawn. So stop by, say hi immediately following this broadcast. And as always, following all of our live broadcasts, they are immediately and automatically, by the magic of, I don't know, the interwebs, I don't know how that works either, are automatically posted over there on our YouTube channel for you to watch. Look at that ginormous pull on gold. Holy cow. Look at that. People are making money right now, except for me. I'm sitting there watching it go down. Hopefully you're in that. Paid members who's making money right now on that. If you can open your mic, if you're already in a trade, don't bother doing that.
Yes, sir, we are.
I knew you would be, right? I walked away to take a quick break and chomp down on a pork chop or whatever it was the wife had for me and come back and here the gold had ran to the moon. I missed out on all of that. But you'll have that, right? That happens. There's always something running somewhere. You just got to be present and be ready when it happens. You can't be everywhere all the time. And these things happen all day long. So don't fret. That we talked about that earlier. You know, I used to get upset when I'd miss a big run or something. Look at all that money I could have made. Well, I didn't make that money. I wasn't there. I wasn't present. I wasn't actively involved in the trade. So I didn't lose nothing, right? You got to be there, right? Got to play to win kind of thing, right? You got to be present. So, RK Greg, thank you. We'll discuss that there. Anyhow, I want to do something here real quick. I want to send a message to somebody about that fact. Or Doug, can you let Bruno know or Coach that Greg only sees one TikTok being live? There should have been an alternate account go live today. You can type that into the streaming channel if you would. Tag them. Maybe there's something that needs tweaked or whatever. I don't know. Anyhow, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I can do that.
Over on our YouTube channel, which is, like I said, American Dream Trading, you will find in our live chat, one of our chat moderators over there, James, has been so kind to put clickable links into the chat there for you that takes you with one click to our website and our processing payer company, which is WHOP, WHOP.com. That is who we use to process all our memberships. It is American Dream Trading. We have an account with them. Just like when you go to, say, you go to Kohl's for the day and you go buy a bunch of stuff and you break out your debit card or your credit card to buy something, Kohl's is not processing that. It's getting processed by a third-party company, right, which then processes the payments between your Visa or MasterCard, right? So that's why WHOP does that for us. That's the name of the company. So don't be confused when you see that. Anyhow, that's how that works. A little bit behind the scenes, the things there. So we do have our same current 3 promos running. We have a 7-day absolutely free trial for up to 7 days that you can find by going to our website, which would be americandreamtrading. You know what else? .com. And right at the top of the page, you'll see a link there, a little box, the clickable thing. You click that a couple times, and it'll take you to our membership page, and you'll see our free trials there. We have a 7-day free trial for our premium membership, which is with Coach and our other training moderators, which starts training and trading live on a Zoom call, where you have access to an open mic, you have access to a live Zoom chat, which you can communicate one of those 2 ways, live and get your questions answered and trained. That starts at 8:45 a.m. every morning through 4 p.m. So that premium membership training is going on right now at the same time the futures is. We also have our crypto membership. They have a live Zoom call training on Wednesday nights at 7:15. Hopefully some of you took advantage of that last night, right? And then we have the one that's nearest and dearest to my heart, which is the one you're listening to now via free version, is the Futures 7-day free trial. We start training and trading at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. You can join us absolutely free right now or first thing tomorrow morning and get trained and free. You get, even though they're free trials, you get all the benefits and privileges of a paid membership during that up to 7-day free trial. So that means you have access to all training videos and documents, recordings, all those type of things. You're able to ask questions and join us live without delay, because right now on all these social medias, you're a minimum of 20 seconds behind, if not more like 40 or 45 seconds. You don't really have that delay on our live Zoom calls. And you can discuss things, and we can discuss trades, your trades, questions you have. How do I do this? How do I do that? And we will treat you just like you're a paid member, whether that's good or bad. We will treat you accordingly. But yes, full benefits and privileges of a paid member for absolutely free for up to 7 days. If you do not wish to continue after the 7 days, it's very easy. You just cancel, and there's zero cost to you to do that. So check that out over at our webpage or webby site, our www.americandreamtrading.com. Head over there now. You also will need our free Discord, because that is where we post our live Zoom links each and every day. Every day it's a new link, so you have to have that. You can't use the same link over again. And those are posted in the morning before we go live with our live training, not our live what you're watching right now. So you have to have that to be able to get in the room, because that's how it authenticates you that you're a member. So, and you'll need to get that absolutely free. Even if you do not continue your free trial, the Discord, it still remains free, and you'll be able to see, even though it would be limited at that time, you'll still have access, and you can interact with other members of American Dream Trading. Absolutely free. Sounds like a great thing to do. Oh my gosh, are we blessed? Is that ADT Coach over there on TikTok? Check it out. Everybody say hi to Coach. That's the real Coach, ADT Coach. He said, love this guy. That's not me saying I love this guy. That's the real Coach there saying hello to everybody. Everybody say hello, Coach, over on TikTok. What's up? We're killing it over here in the futures, by the way, just so you know. We need lots of Brink trucks. As a matter of fact, I think we've used all the available Brinks trucks to haul the money away. We've now resorted to wheelbarrowing our money to the bank. Some people have 5-gallon buckets. I got a couple people with leaf bags stuffed full of cash. It's kind of hard to haul that. It's heavy when it gets full, but we'll get it to the bank one way or another. So we've had a very good day today. Count changing day today. I will say that I actually got tore up a little bit on my small. I was trading my small count most of the day today. And man, I was, what was that? The Russell. Russell was not kind to me today. I jumped in. I did a couple dumb entries myself. Made a couple at least one mechanical error. Made a couple poor decisions that went against me. And then there was one or two that just went against me. Bigger than normal. Got stopped out because my stop wasn't large enough. I moved it up too soon. That was my own fault also. But you'll have those. But yes, I did well on gold today. Came out ahead, came out green. That's what matters. Green is good. So glad to have you all here today. So over there on our YouTubes, you can click those links. It'll take you right over there. Doug is also in there. By the way, James and Doug can also answer any questions that you may have about American Dream Trading. Good to see everybody. Let's me scroll back up here over on TikTok. Lots of comments. Appreciate it. Nunya's in here. Nunya will also help you out over there. Any questions you might have. Wade also will help you. She does a fantastic job over there. Good. Thank you for them follows. Lou and Hardwood and Wall Street's back commenting on my beautiful shirts. Yes, they are. They're fantastic. And what else we got? Wall Street shared the lives. Thank you for that. I'll just say Shaw because I can pronounce that. Glad to have you back with us again. Good to see the regulars coming back day after day. If you are regulars here and you haven't taken advantage of one of them free premium or futures or crypto membership, what is stopping you? Get it. Get her now. What's gold going to do next? Is it going to liquidate? Is it going to liquidate? I don't know. We trade the trade that's in front of us. Your guess is just as valuable as my guess. One thing we don't do is we don't try to introduce a bias on what we think something is going to do. Now, do we have an idea what something may do? Well, through our education and training that Coach provides to us 5 days a week over here live, I know how to do a chart. I can draw lines on my chart. I can see where my key levels are at, where it's likely to be bought and sold at. I can use my indicators to show different things. They tell me a story. Look at that bleeding out. Gee, buddy, Christmas. If somebody didn't know better, they would probably do something about that, and see what they can do. I'm just saying, you want to just sit idly by sometimes, but it's not a good idea to trade your live account while you're on a live call because that could be detrimental to your account. But I did it anyway. I locked in a few dollars right there. Thank you very much. Now I feel better after missing out, being busy today. I did a lot of talking today and not hardly any trading. And
you are obsessed.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I should have stayed in it longer. Look at that! Oh, it's coming down to the 200. Oh, well, when it comes down to 200 on a 1 minute candle, what do I think is going to happen here? I think it's going to pause and possibly even bounce right here. This is a point of decision we are waiting to see. That does not mean it can't just crash and burn all the way through there and keep on going. But look at that. Holy cow, big sell-off, a lot of profit taking. Gold has hit new highs all day long. It hit a high today of $4,314.60 per ounce. And we made money all day long off of gold. Gold was probably, it's not often that our members tend to trade one thing. We don't trade as a group per se. We all have our things we like to trade. But I'll tell you what, I think we probably had people trading gold today that weren't trading gold before. It just was a beautiful thing to trade all day. It is the money maker, cash machine maker, right? Take money from a baby, make a baby cry kind of day, right? So here it is. What did it do? Yes, it did go through the 200, but it did retrace on that large gamma candle, and our members probably made money on that 50% retracement because that happens all the time. Now here it is, a retest. Is it going to break and hold through the next level on my chart? I have some sort of historical levels. Now, I will tell you, because this is a new high day, this thing just took off today like crazy. It started today. What did it start today at? Let me look here real quick. It started today at 42.14 and it went up to 43.14. So basically all it did, it went up 100 points. It went up 100.1 tick. So it actually moved 100 points to a new high today. So this was uncharted territory. So we really didn't have any historical levels to be able to chart. But we've created some sense. Now, are these going to be strong historical levels? No, because they're only based on today's movement. But it's all we have, so that's what we go by, right? Now, over the next few days, if gold stays up here, keeps going up and keeps going up and down and retesting and pulling back, that'll help reinforce our historical lines that we've just created today, right? But until then, you know, it's not a strong historical level, but as you can see, you know, it's kind of doing it. Man, I've talked nonstop all day. My voice is trashed. Hang on, I'll be drinking multiple fluids today. As always, my nice cup of coffee. So yeah, we don't know what it's going to do. We trade to trade. We have our historical levels. I have indicators, which is Coach's 3.0 indicators that you see here, which is a TradingView add-on. You have to have a paid subscription to TradingView, which is in no way associated with American Dream Trading. But it is probably, and I don't know this as a fact, but I would venture a guess to say it's probably the largest single independent charting software in the world, maybe in the whole universe, in the whole galaxy. That wouldn't be an exaggeration, would it? So, and I can link my brokerage accounts to this, and I do that. I have a Webull account and I have a Tradovate account, and I can link both of those. So I make my trades live on this screen that you see in front of your face right here, right? And it's linked to my other real account so I can execute trades in real time. Now what you see on my screen is, and you can't really see it because where my fat body's sitting, right behind it is the bottom of my screen. It clearly says paper trading. I'm trading paper on this screen. However, I do have my chart open on my other computer, but I'm not going to do any more of that foolishness I just did. Yes, I made a few bucks there, but I'm not going to do that anymore. That's last time I did something like this, it was detrimental to my account, so I'm not going to play games. Why? Why don't I trade my real account in front of all of you? Well, it's not that I can't. I can put this and install everything on here and hook my account up to it, but I need to be laser focused when I'm in a trade. I'm looking at 5 different screens at any given time, answering your questions, seeing who's saying things and those type of things. So I'm not, even though I may be looking at this screen, I'm really not focused. I'm looking at your comments and questions and answering other people's questions. So I'm really not focused, and I do not trade my real account. I am not going to jeopardize my family's income by being distracted, right? You should never trade when you're distracted. You should never trade when you're sick. You should never trade when you're upset. You should never trade when you're tired, right? Those are all detrimental to your trading. You're not going to make good logical choices, right? So you want to be on you want to have your A game up and running. And if you've ever watched, well, if you've been here more than a couple days, you've seen how distracted I can get. You've seen me lose money during the trades. You've seen Coach trade live in front of you with his account, and somebody will ask him a question, and he thinks in his mind what's going on, and next thing you know, he got distracted for a few seconds, and the trade goes against you, and you lose real money. So I try not to do that. It's not that I haven't, and I have made money doing it. But now, with our paid members, do I trade live in front of them? Yes, I do. I have I use my small account. I trade in front of them. I trade differently when I'm trading. I shouldn't say I'm even more focused when I'm trading my larger account because it's a lot more money, obviously, right? And I really focus on that. I'm not worried about sharing that screen when I do it. But I do share I not paid members trade my live account right in front of you every day? Well, not every day, but most days, right? Hello?
Yes, you do.
Oh, all right. I just
absolutely.
make sure. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Anybody home? All right. Just make sure I didn't get disconnected. I don't make sure my steer link didn't move out of the way or something and lost my connection. All right. Shal, I answered your first question. What's gold going to do? And please do not spam questions in here. I'll allow this to slide this time. But if you continue to do that, I'll have to invite you to leave. This is our house. Please treat it with respect. I can't get to all your questions right away. I will try my best to answer everybody's questions live as time allows. So please be patient. Don't spam your questions over and over again. That's, if anything, that will get me, it will kick in my boomer attitude and you won't get your question answered. And you might have to go elsewhere. So it's okay. I'm going to let you slide. That's fine. Here in our house, there's different rules here than there are other places. Just don't spam us over and over with the same question. Okay? Thank you. And if I'm busy, one of the other moderators will try to help you as they have time to. But they are also making money as we speak also, as our paid members. So yes, what do you think gold's going to do next? I don't care what gold's going to do next. If I'm actively trading it, I'm going to make money on whatever gold does next. I'm going to trade the trade that's in front of me. I can go right here. I can click this button. I can watch here. What's the L2 showing me? If it's showing me anything at all, I'm going to just put it over here on the side, quick glance, so I can see a little bit what's going on. I can come in here, enter this trade right now. I can come in here and, whatever. Trade 5. There's my stop loss. I always trade with a stop loss. I don't trade with that big of a stop loss. But that's even too small for this. But this will get me into trade, right? I can go in here and bang, 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 bang. I'm into trade. There's my entry. Tells me I bought 5 contracts. There's my stop loss. Again, this is a paper trading account, so if this goes against me, don't feel bad, right? This is not real money. Now, it executed my trade in real time, right? At the right real price. So I always enter. You never trade without a stop. There's my stop. It shows I got 5 contracts. Now I'm showing you my profit and loss on here. When I'm trading by myself, I turn all this garbage off because it influences how you trade, right? Anytime I share my screen, though, I have this on. But I can go right up here in Trading View, and I can go in here and I can turn that stuff off, right? So I don't see that, so it's not so distracting. But for trading purposes, I'll leave it on so you can see how much a candle movement's worth. And look at that, I'm up $45, right? So I'm coming up on the 55 and see if this don't break and hold. I'm gonna lock in my profit in case there's a pullback. I'm gonna be patient more than I normally am and see if this is gonna break and hold above the 55. I really don't care about the 55 all that much, but it is an indicator, right? It is a measurement of a trend. And there you go. There it comes up here. I'm up $100 right here, right now, right? Right here, right now. Who sings that? Come on. Where's my music people? Come on. Who are you? Come on. There's 95. If this pauses at all, I'm coming up here. There's some traffic up here I got to deal with. Some minor double tops I got to deal with up here, right? If I see red, I might lock it in. Because why? Because I'm a scalper. Now I'm going to give it a chance to see if it bounces back off the 55. If it doesn't, I'm out. All right. I could have had $100, but I took 30. Now, did I give it enough time to see if it was going to move? No, I didn't. But that's how fast and easy you can get into a trade, right? So, now as a scalper, now I got to reevaluate my re-entry point. So the best thing is to let your runners run so you're not jumping in and out all the time. But I am a scalper. If it pauses, I'll lock it in. If I see red, I'll lock it in. Is that the best way to do it? No. But it works for me is all I can say, right? I'm doing okay financially, so it works. Could I be better? Absolutely. I try to get better every day. I didn't show it there, but I try to, right? Try to improve every day. I do learn something new every day. All right. So, Hemet, buy or sell? Well, number one, that's a great question, right? Neither I nor anyone else associated with American Dream Trading are licensed financial advisors, and as such, we cannot offer financial investment or tax advice. This is for education and trading only. Do not mimic anything you see on my screen, right? This may be too risky of a trade for you. You don't know. And you're on a minimum of 20 to 45 second delay. So what you see on my screen now has already happened 20 seconds ago at a minimum, right? So if you'd have entered on that green candle there, look at him, he's in that trade. I'm going to get in on that green candle. Well, by the time what I did comes to you, that red candle was already formed, and now you're losing money, right? That's why you don't mimic anything you see on the interwebs, because there is a delay, right? This is for education purposes. So now, when we're sharing our screen on our live Zoom call, you don't have that delay, right? We can discuss things in real time as much as possible, right? So that's why we tell you not to mimic anything, because of that very reason. The other thing is, we're not a call-out group. We're not telling you what to buy and sell, right? Because we're not licensed financial advisors. We'll never do that. Call-out groups really don't work in the long run for you. Number one, by the time you get that information, there's already been a delay. That call-out information they're given might be too high of a risk tolerance for you to even be making that trade. Do you ever think about that? They may be saying, oh, let's trade Tesla. Well, you know, Tesla could go up down 50% at any given time, right? That means you can make a lot of money. You can lose a lot of money in a heartbeat, right? As any trade, any investment vehicle, that can happen. And it does happen. We've seen a huge pullback on in one candle on gold earlier this morning. It was like, geez, if you was in that trade, it ripped your face off, right? But all our paid members know to have a stop loss, so it would have limited their losses. Yes, you're going to take losses. That's part of trading. You're going to lose money. We can't guarantee anything, but I'll guarantee you'll lose money in a trade throughout the day. Even I have red trades. Matter of fact, there at one point, I was running 50-50. 50 green, 50% green, 50% red. Now, part of them 50% was my own fault. A high percentage of them, actually. So I don't know what half a quart low today or what the dealio was. But anyway, I'm green. So, and I did that live in front of our members. So that was even worse, you know. I'm the world's greatest trader. Watch me lose money, you know. So, but yeah, that's just part of it. You're going to win and you're going to lose, right? But through education and training, hopefully you'll have more greens than red ended up with green days. And you will have red days. You'll have days where you lose altogether, right? But as you get better and get more experience, you'll learn to be patient and wait on the trades for the proper setup so that it reduces the likelihood of you losing money. Gives you a little bit of fake control over your trade, right? We try to kid ourselves, oh, this is going to the moon. And next thing you know, the institutions come in and dump a whole bunch of shares, and then, you lost everything, right? Matter of fact, we had one member tell us today he was doing very well all day long, and then he got into a trade, and no sooner got into it, and there was a big institutional sell-off, and it took nearly all his profit that he'd already earned prior in the day. Now, he's recovered from that, but, those things happen. But he had to stop, so it did limit his downside, right? But it was still a considerable loss of all that work, hours of work maybe that he had done earlier in the day. And that's just gut-wrenching when them things happen. But once you know that that's part of the deal, right, that those things can and do happen on a regular basis, then you learn to get over it. Yeah, it makes you angry and upset. But over time, you get jaded, if you want to say that. You get kind of jaded. You learn to trade more robotically without emotion. Because when you have an understanding that there are things that we have absolutely zero control over, and price action is one of them, right? So, and whenever somebody comes in and places a large order, we don't have any control over that either, right? You have institutions coming in trading billions of dollars at one time. Millions and tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions, right? If you don't think that's true, go pull up an NQ chart, right? Right here. You can see, well, it's more easier to see when you're doing stocks, but you can measure that candle in how many, right? So let's just do a quick little math thing here. So this candle right here is, from there to there, is 46 points. Let's just call it 50, make it easy, right? This candle had a volume of, what's that say, 3,200, right? 3,000, right? Yeah, so roughly 3,200. So take 3,200 times 50 just on that one candle alone. How much is that? What's that dollar value of the price if this was real pricing, right? That's a lot of money that's being dumped just in one candle, right? There's a value to each one of those candles. So you're talking buku bunches of money. I'm losing my contact here. Plugged in, eh? Yep. Anyway, so there's real value on each one of these candles. They're not just a little graph on your chart, right? They're real things. They have real value, monetary value. A lot of money changes hands every day. The other day, we had a world leader say something, and what was it, $2 trillion disappeared in the market in a matter of what, minutes? Literally minutes? Without exaggeration.
Melted away to nothing.
$2 trillion disappeared just like that. Well, guess what? We've got that $2 trillion back plus more since then. That's how much money is involved in the markets, is it not? Where were we at Friday? Somebody look up, just look up ES. What was the ending value Friday? What's the value now? Has it fully recovered? Was that Friday that happened? Monday.
Yeah. Well,
Whatever day it was, either Friday or Monday. Right? Check
ES,
that out.
you said?
See that big drop. You'll find it, right? 11. Was it 11 o'clock, I believe, ish, Eastern time? It dropped and plummeted. See where that, whatever day that was. I'm seeing everything's a blur anymore. And see where we're at in the S&P 500. If you got a minute to do that. All right. So yeah, we just trade the trades that are in front of us and we deal with it based on our historical levels. Okay. We read candles. Let's go from here. Check out ES, Coach says. Just saw that. I'm trying to go backwards here. Yeah, look at ES dumping, right? And that's why gold's going up. What's the dollar index doing right now? It's probably going down too. That's why gold was going up, right? We've been playing with that all day too, right? DXY.
Yeah,
What's,
Friday.
Ralph,
Friday at
what's
10
the
o'clock
dollar
is
index
when,
doing? If Ralph's in here, he was, right? Hang on, I'll find it. I got it. Yeah, it's been going down all day, and gold's been going up. The value of the dollar's been dropping. Gold's gone up. It's down at a bottom now. It's doing a little bottom bounce down there, but day's over pretty much for that kind of thing.
Yeah,
anyway.
it's a little pullback right now, but it's in the downtrend.
Yeah. So, and we've capitalized on that on gold today, right? Gold's set all new record highs all day long. Now we're pulling back now, right? But that's profit taking, pure and simple, right? I mean, silver did the same thing. I got a silver chart up here, and I look here. Whew, is that hot in here? Or is it just me?
Oh. It's hot in here. Well, that's how I'm at.
Man, I'm freaking wound up or something. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, look at silver did the same thing today, right? Each one of them, each tick on silver is $25. Now, if you got in a silver trade, just rode that up there between the open and let's say 12 o'clock. That's, can't see what it says. This thing's in the road. Hang on here. I got to move this out of the road. That's almost 300 ticks right there. What's 300 times 25? I'm not that bright. I got a calculator though. I can do that. 300 times 25, $7,500 on one silver contract from here to there in a matter of 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Uh-huh. See, there's money to be made. There's money in them dire hills. All right?
Very volatile.
Very.
Yes.
Yes, you can make a lot of money in silver, and you can lose your bank account trading silver. I mean, same thing. We have the same thing here. I mean, this bottom bounced off a key level down here on gold, and it went up while Mark was on break, like usual. It went up 340 some points, right? $10, that's $3,400 on one contract, right? Bang, 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 right? And that was in 1240 to, if you'd have got out at the top, to, that was about 40 minutes of trading. Just sitting there, one click in, cashing out at the top, right? That's assuming you didn't, you rode all the way up, which we know we don't do that, but there's lots of money to be involved here in these markets. There's a lot of volume. Do I have a specific take profit and stop loss? Yes and no, or no and yes. I never use take profit. I always use stop loss. Always never enter a trade. And I know all my paid members are saying, what a liar he is. Always use a stop loss. Do as I say, not as I do. All right? They see me occasionally enter without a stop loss if I'm doing quick scalps in and out, bang, bang. But you should always have one. Them things you think are quick, it can dump real quick at that same time. Yes, always with a stop loss. I set a stop loss, and once it's there, I don't move it. If it pulls back there, oh well, it did its job, right? Do I use take profit? I do not personally. Have I? Yes, I have. I've played around with it. There's specific people do that, and if you want to do it, that's fine. That's on you. I do not use it for the simple fact is I am limiting the amount of profit I can make, right? A stop loss is important because it limits the amount of money you can lose in any given trade. Why do I want to limit my profit in a trade? Now, is there applications for that? There most certainly is. You channel trading, there's various reasons people use them. Other people do it just because they don't think they can get out quick enough. Channel trading is very effective. You can set it up there. Now, you can adjust it once you're in a trade, right? You can slide it up and down and all around, but what if it shoots up right here, right? Let's just say I was in this, let's just use this gold trade here, right? You see how this was all going up? Well, what if I had set my stop loss right here at this level that I had marked, right? Because it kind of stopped here. This was a support level, right? So it's resistance going up. If I'd have had a take profit just below that line because I thought, well, this isn't going to go any higher, and it worked its way up, and all of a sudden, see how this candle here, this little bit slightly larger candle is? Let me spread this out a little bit so you can see it. It's a perfect example, right? So I come up here on this point of resistance. I get a couple nice sized candles larger than normal. This came up. It did indeed stop where I put my take profit is. But what if this would have continued shot up through there? Well, I would have limited my profit to here. What if it kept going, right? Now, in the same regard, let's say I'm staying in this trade. Well, this just now kicked me out of the trade. Now I got to re-enter it, right? If I didn't have a take and I got in down here, right? So I have all kinds of leeway to allow these to pull them back, right? I'm still in a profit because I got in down here, right? And I'm up here. So I got all this profit from here to here, right? So why do I want to limit? I can afford to sit there and see what it's going to do. As you can see, it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes later, it broke through and continued up. Well, if I had my take profit, which was fine, that was, that would have made me a lot of money. Don't get, any profit till you bank it. I get it, right? And I'm a scalper, so I take profit all the time. But I don't use that because if this shoots up, I missed out on everything from here up, right? So I just limited my income. Why do you want to do that? You can use your mouse, your clicker to get out of a trade, right? One click of the mouse gets you out of a trade, right? So for that reason, I don't want to limit my potential of earnings in any trade, whether it's up or down, right? Whether I'm going long or short. That's why I don't use it. We have members that use it. You see Coach use it from time to time, right? It's more of a demonstration. Coach almost always exits a trade when he wants to exit, right? I do the same thing. When I enter a trade, and what he's talking about, let me show you how this looks, okay? This is paper trading again, all right? So now again, so if I enter this trade right now, all right, bang. So there's my stop loss. Always enter with a stop loss. I want to limit how much money I can lose. So I cannot lose more than $135 on this trade. But I've also limited myself to making only $135, okay? Now, yes, I can move this up and down and around, right? I can adjust it. Well, let's just say I enter this trade and I had it set for whatever that was said, 27 ticks. It's just some random number, right? What if I enter this trade and this thing shoots up all the way? What if it goes clear up here so that's a new high? What if this goes to 3,500? Well, I've only made, instead of making thousands of dollars, I only made $135. So you can see why I don't want to use that. Because you never know when you're going to get a large candle that will shoot up. Look at this candle right here, right? That thing, look how big that candle is. That thing just took off, right? This one candle alone right here is, let's just call it 60 ticks, right? That's $600 in that one candle, right? Well, I'm limiting myself to 135. Let's just say this kept going up from the time I got in. So as soon as I got in, if this big candle will happen right here as soon as I entered, I'd only got $135 at that 600. So why do I want to limit myself, right? You know what I mean? So that's why I don't use it. And if you want to use it, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's up to you, right? You see how that stop loss stopped me out? So I lost $135. It did its job. So protect your downside, protect your loss on your trade. I personally just suggest don't limiting your upside. If you can't, you can click a mouse just as fast to lock in your profits as you can anything else. You can also use your stop loss and slide it up to lock it as it goes up. Slide it up, slide it up, slide it up, slide it up, right? So, and my main reasoning for not using it is if you get a large gamma candle, it shoots it to the moon and you miss out on all that, right? Yeah, normal stair stepping up is probably not as big of a deal, right? Because I can move that up as it gets closer. But you get that one big zoomy candle, you lose a lot of money that way. And you go, oh, right? So don't do that. That's my suggestion. Good question. What else? If you want to use it, that's on you, right? There's nothing wrong. It's not inherently wrong. It guarantees you profit, right? Because it could go went right up one tick above that and pulled back, and you didn't react quick enough. See, and then it's a benefit. So, adjust it to your style of trading. Why is XRP and everything tanking right now, dude? I'm a dude, Doug. I'm a dude. Well,
You are, dude.
I'm a dude. I'm the dude. That's a good
The
movie.
Dude.
What's the name of that movie?
It should be the dude.
The Dude? Is that what
It
it's
should be
called?
the dude. No, it's the Great
Great
The Big
Lebowski. Yes. Great movie. He's the dude. Right?
He's the dude.
I don't know. I don't follow XRP and anything Bitcoin on a regular basis at all. I don't know. I don't see Bucko in here. He's our resident. He's usually in here on a daily basis. Today just happens to be one of those days Bucko is not in here. It's related to the movement of the market also, just like everything else, right? When the markets are going up, I believe those things kind of go up with it. I don't really want to say because I don't know enough. I would just be fooling you if anything comes on my pie hole about crypto. It's not my cup of tea right now. I can trade it, but I don't. What's the EMA do with it? Well, an EMA is what? It's an exponential moving average. These lines you see on my chart here, in this case, let's look at the white one because it's easiest to see. This white line is my 9 EMA. And boy, I'm starting to get stuffed up, my sinuses. This 9 is the 9 EMA. What that does, it measures the last 9 candles on my chart. Now, I'm on a 1-minute chart, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It measures and averages, adds them all together, and gets the average price of all those last 9 candles. So for the last 9 minutes, because I have on a 1-minute chart, 1-minute candles, so last 9 minutes, this is the average price right here, right? Now it's higher than that right now because it had a larger candle. If I'm on a 2-minute chart, it's still going to measure 9 candles, but it covers an 18-minute period, right? So it takes an average. It's all it is. It's a lagging indicator. It's telling you what already happened. Now, all these EMAs, this orange one's a 55. This purplish one is the 21. And they all do the same thing, 55 candles, 21 candles. So these are shorter term indicators or lagging indicators. It's an average of what's already happened, right? So it kind of gives you an idea what to look for. Now, I can use each one of these indicators for a specific purpose to assist me in my decision making on my trades. And that's what we teach you here at American Dream Trading, is how to use all this information that's on your chart. I have a trend line here, right? It can be called a regression channel. And we just kind of went to calling it a trend channel because it can be going up, it can go sideways, it can be going down. You can see there's a slight, ever so slight decline on a 1-minute chart with that. I have the 200 MA. That's a big one that a lot of people use. It's the second most powerful indicator you can use on your chart. That measures the last 200 candles. And the most powerful one of them all is the VWAP, which is way down here. That's volume weighted average price. So this is where the price should be via average, right? But because it had such a large spike up, this hasn't caught up yet. It's time-based, right? So this will eventually swing its way up here, or if this pulls back down, they'll eventually get close again, right? But when you get these large jumps in prices, it outpaces the movement of this up. It's all averages. It's what's already happened. VWAP is the strongest indicator you can have. Do I need all these indicators on here? No. Do I? Yes. Why do I? Because I like them. They help aid my decision-making process the way. Myself personally, the two I like, well, excluding VWAP and the 200, really you only need VWAP, but I like the 200 also because they're longer term. So I like VWAP to 200 and then the 9 and the 21, right? Those are, and because I'm a scalper, I will use the 9 pretty much exclusively on my decision making, right? And if it happens to go below the 9 a little bit, and it's been showing that it bounces off the 21, I'll take that into play. 55, not so much. I recognize it, that it's there, and I do give it a little respect, not as much as I do the other ones, right? good or bad. So that's what those are for. They're all part of this all this garbage, right? All this noise you see on my screen. These lines here are the historical levels, right? And those are all from today, so they're not really that historical. They're only hours old. So how will these lines hold up over time? Time will tell, right? We'll watch them over the next few days, weeks, and months, right? But all of this stuff, when I put it all together, this is a whole novel of information, right? It's a whole book of information. It looks like it can be confusing. You don't understand what it's telling you. But this thing is screaming at me on what I need to do. And that may be enter. This is a good place to enter. This is a good looking trade. There's a place I might want to enter. Here's a place I might want to exit. Here's a place I might not want to enter at all. Don't trade it, right? Or things aren't looking so good. Better get out of this trade. You're about to lose profits and or money, right? So all of this tells me what to do, right? And that takes time and experience. And this is what we do at American Dream Trading. We're not a call-out group. We'll never tell you to buy MGC now and sell MGC. But what we will do is we will educate you so that you can make your own decisions. What's it looks like a good trade? What is it? Where's a good entry point? When should I get out, right? And those all take time and experience. It's not easy. If everybody could do it, everybody would be billionaires, right? So, these people that get on the interwebs and say, I think I have 80% success rate. Follow me. All right, well, why aren't they trading, like Coach says, why aren't you trading $1 billion right now? If you're that successful, well, put your real money. Why aren't you doing that, right? So that's why we're not a call-out group, right? Because in the number one, the other thing is it's delayed. Number two, it may be highly risky for you. Number three, you're trusting that individual to know what he's talking about in that instant, right? And I'm not bad-mouthing anybody on the interwebs. I never will. I'll never mention names, even infer on who somebody is. Those people that do those kind of things, if you watch and listen to them very long, the ones that bad-mouth other people, think they have to tear down other people, comes right down to it, they got a black heart. They got a heart of coal, right? Black, mean, hateful personality, right? If you have to tear others down to make yourself look better, well, maybe you ought to be looking at somebody else to follow instead of those type of individuals. And I'm not bad-mouthing anybody on the interwebs. You've been there, you've seen them. If you're watching me, you've probably watched 20 others, right? You may still be watching 20 others. I would tell you, if you like what you see here, quit following 20 people. All you're going to do is get a whole bunch of gobbledygook in because somebody's going to have trade this way. Somebody's going to say trade that way. This gal's going to say trade this way. Are they better or worse? Not necessarily, right? Right? It's not like there's a super original idea of trading out there, right? Everything's been explored. There's hundreds of indicators. Is one indicator maybe better than another? Yes, I believe they are. Do I use the Fibonacci retracement? Absolutely not, right? Now, does that not mean I might have some form or semblance of that somewhere built into here? Levels, right? And channels. Do I use the Fibonacci? I don't even know how to use it. I've put it on my chart. I know what it looks like. I got the basic gist of it, but am I going to teach on it? Put it on my chart? Absolutely not, right? Does that mean the Fibonacci retracement indicator's trash? Well, it must not be because people use it, right? And they know how to use it. It's like any other tool. If you know how to use it, fine, use it. I'm never going to tell you not to use something, right? But I prefer not to. It's too much. I try to keep it simple, and that's why we use Coach's indicators. It has everything that I need to be a successful trader. I have proof in the pudding to back it up that I am successful at what I do, and it's all by using what Coach teaches every day. I don't even watch other people, right? There's some highly intelligent traders out there teaching things. I don't even watch them, right? There's a couple I've watched here and there, but I don't have time, right? All I want to do is listen to the sound of Coach's voice. Why? Because it's got me to where I am today, right? And so why would I want to do it something else, right? That's my attitude, right? Let's not cloud my mind with a bunch of other stuff that really doesn't matter to me, because what I'm doing works. And what am I doing works just because I listen to the sound of Coach's voice. Everything I do, I learn from Coach, 100%. Nowhere else. I never traded a day in my life, never day traded at all in my life before I came here. And it's been a fun ride, let's just say that. All right, Knox Gaming. Glad here to learn. Great.
Best
Mark,
training community in the planet.
can you speak into your mic a little louder, please?
I said best community trading in the planet. Come to ADT and learn how the real traders do.
I'll go one step further. It's it's the best one in the known universe and in the galaxies.
Yep,
You can search a galaxy and you won't find one better than us.
100%.
There you go. Prove me wrong. Ha ha! Let me know. Mark, show us again how to have profit when you make a trade. When you make a trade for the trade. Well, I just kind of did that, right? So what you want to see is a live trade, right? This is my paper trading account. All right, so now it's getting a little heavy here, but I am at a line of support on gold right here. I'm going to wait a little bit, see what's going to happen here before I enter a trade. Part of trading is waiting for the setup also. So there's a lot of excitement and a lot more sitting around waiting, right? It's not all glamour here, right? Yeah, it's great when you're having fun making money and yay, making money, right? So what I'm going to wait on here is I'm going to look and see. This may want to go up to 33.05. It's at 304 right now. But I'm going to wait because there's too many places right now. Yes, I'm going to give up a little bit of profit. I can see on my L2 there's a large order that this wants to go to 305. Can I click right now? Yeah, I can. I can go like this, right? Have hopium that it did that just based on what I see. But by the time I do that, I'm going to lose money, right? So you want to wait on the setup. This is not the setup I'm waiting on. I just expected this to pull back when I get in there to say, see, told you so. Well, guess what? It's moving up a little bit. Well, there's $30. I can click out of this trade this way, or I can let this go up and move my stop and lock in my profit. See, guaranteed $40. I can keep sliding it up that way, or I can take all my profit at once right here, right? Bang. See, guaranteed me $60 right there. See how that worked? That's called sliding your stop up to lock in your profits. That protects against a retracement, which has just happened there, right? I knew that large gamma candle was going to pull back. But as this goes up, you can keep moving your stop up. Now, you got to maintain a relative distance so it doesn't stop you out too quick. You still got to have. So I can do this all day long, right? It's not a wise way to try to trade. But there's my stop down here. The most I can lose is 135, right? Now, as this comes up, this is not going to. I have a lot of areas here I got to worry about, these double tops. See where these other candles and all that stop? That's a lot of information there, right? So I would have waited on this trade on the break and hold of the 9 and to get above this level right here before I would have entered. Basically, I entered where I would have waited to enter. So I got in early, and as you can see, the end result is it's not popping up there. Can it still? Yeah, obviously it could. But this is a bad entry. I just entered this willy-nilly, and you don't do that. Can I still come out smelling like a rose? Yeah, I can. Usually when I do dumb things like this in real life, which if you'd have followed me today in our live Zoom call, you'd have seen it live in action, making poor decisions, right? If I mess up and I end up being green anyway, I don't even wait for it to. As soon as I see green, I get out. When I know the candle's above where I got in, I'll take my profit because I'm just thankful that I didn't lose money in the trade, right? Then I'll reevaluate and do what I should have done the first time, right? See, right now, I'm struggling to make money here. It's going green to red, right? Because I should not have entered until it broke free of this zone up through here. So if I get green here, it doesn't really matter. This is fake money, but I don't even like losing paper trading. Upsets me, right? But I'm showing you things on purpose. So that's why another reason I use paper trading during these lives, because I can show you on purpose things you shouldn't do. And I jumped in on that willy-nilly, knowing very well that these levels are right here. I don't have a line, but I can see it visually, right? See how these candles all here kind of topped out here, would go right across there, right? And that's right where I entered. I want to wait on a break and hold above that. Okay, so I made a mistake on my entry. I'm going to lock in my $10, whatever that said, $10 or $15 profit, okay? Because in my mind, even though I made money on that trade, I made a mistake. So I'm going to get out of that trade as soon as I can, hope that I made money. Well, that's kind of dumb. What if it keeps going, Mark? Well, oh well, so be it. But it didn't. It paused. As soon as it paused there for a second, I just took the profit. Now I'm going to reevaluate my entry, right? And as I told you, I don't have a line drawn here. I can draw one here real quick, right? I can snap a line. I want to wait and see that. I'll just leave that yellow because I'm not going to leave that there in the long run. But you can see how these candles all topped out here. They're respecting this level. Again, now these levels were just established today, so they're not as strong as something that's been hitting the same area for weeks or months or years on end. But that's all I have to go on today, right? This is the most recent history and the best history that I got. So really, I want to see a break and hold above this before I even think about it. But even then, you can see all this other chop. Can I draw a line here? Yeah, I can. I don't need to draw lines. I can see it visually, but I'll do that so you can see, right? Let me pop lines on here. I'm going to leave them yellow just for the fact that I know to erase these later, right? Why is them lines yellow, dummy? You know, oh, yeah, I was going to erase them, right? So I'm not going to leave those lines there. I may leave them there, but I'll turn them white. So these are all my points of decision, right? It's got to get through here. So if I can get in this trade and it breaks and holds above this, I can run this up somewhere between here, right? Between these candles, the bodies of these candles. So it'll probably pause or pull back either at the bottom of these candles or somewhere between there and here. So I'll be extra cautious as I approach this point of decision that I just drew on there, right? As you can see, it's going the other way now, right? What did it do? Well, it treated this like a double chop. Well, it's quite, see how many times it hit this level? That's a strong point. And so I would expect it to do that. And that's where I got in on that trade. I just happened to get fortunate enough that it went up enough to give me a little bit of profit to get out of the trade, right? So that's why I don't piss around. I'm like, and then and our paid members heard me say the exact words today. I'm like, why did I do that? That was a dumb trade. And I sat there with my finger on the button waiting for it to go green. Well, I think maybe one of them did. The other ones I ended up losing money because of my ignorance, right? Well, not ignorance, stupidity. Two different things, right? Ignorance can be fixed. Stupidity lasts forever. All right, so that's how we do that, right? I'm using my indicators, and I'm using my historical levels. If I'm not in the trade and I want to get in this trade now, I have to make a decision based on all these things it's showing me. I want to get above my indicators if possible. I want to wait for a break and hold of the historical levels, right? So right there. So I'm ready to go. If it happens to break and hold is what I do. Break and hold of the 9 is what I really want to do. I'm not going to do it right here because the level's right there. I want to see it go through that level before I jump in there. Well, there it is. It's breaking through that level. Mark, why aren't you in the trade yet? Well, because it hasn't broke and held above that level. Can I jump in or make money? Yeah. I could go like this, chase that candle. You know what happens when you chase candles? Guess. Guess what happens? Guess. What happens? Well, look at that nice large candle. That's probably going to pull back halfway. Oh, look at that. Now I'm down $30. See, that's why you don't chase candles. I wait a little bit more conservative. Now, could I took the profit there, got in the second it did that? Yeah, I could have. And we have members that do that. I like to wait for the break and hold. It's a slightly more conservative, right? And it shows I'm looking for one candle stacking on the shoulder of the next candle, right? Like this right here. So there's that pullback. I knew what happened, right? So now I'm waiting another, well, that candle just, now this one starts on the shoulder. Now I will enter this trade. Does that guarantee me profit? No. What I'm looking for is a little bit of oomph to the upside. Is that giving me confidence that it wants to go higher? Not right now, it ain't. Right? I'm not going to buy this yet unless I see some oomph. And I'm also getting up to the tops of where these wicks are at, right? So it's kind of a danger, kind of a crappy area to enter a trade anyway, right? The higher risk trade, right? Yeah. So I didn't enter that trade. It looked like it wanted to start, but it didn't. It failed, right? And if you really look at it, it didn't actually start on the shoulder of the previous. So that's a sign of weakness, at least on that candle. Doesn't mean it can't still go up, but generally a little bit of a sign of weakness. Not going to enter this trade here when it bounces off the 9. Oh, let's do that. What's that going to do? Oh, look at that. Now I'm losing money. All right. Well, let's see. Is it going to bounce off my indicator? That's another strategy you can try trading. As long as it respects the 21, which it has been today for the most part, right? Can I make money to the upside? See, I'm losing there, right? So you got to have patience. You just can't jump in willy-nilly, right? I use my historical levels. Did it break and hold back below that line after it went up? No. And I jumped in hoping it would bounce off the 9. Now, it didn't in that case. It is coming back up now, but, right? And here it goes, popping back up. But I didn't wait on a break and hold to the downside, which is what I like to do. That extra and hold, waiting for that extra candle, am I giving up some profit? Yeah, I am. But I'm also waiting to make sure that I have continued momentum that I can ride it for more than $1 or $2, right? So I wanted to, it's a little bit more conservative. And I've watched other traders in our group, and they'll jump in that candle just like I did, right, to show you, right? And they'll jump in. If it pulls back, they'll write it down. If it bounces, whatever. So it's just different. I like to wait. I like to break and hold off key levels in key indicators. That's just how I trade, because I'm a scalper. That's how I do that. Now, there's different ways of trading. I'm a scalper, and that's how I scalp. I don't need even anything. I could scalp one candle if I really wanted to, right? I don't care about no stinking indicators. I can go get in, right? I can get in here, get out, right? I can come in here, second I see profit, bang, get out. There's $30 I made in 5 seconds, right? Fake money, but that's how I scalp, right? I can do that all day long. I can do 1,000 trades a day if I wanted to. It's not wise to do that, because now you're gambling, right? You're just jumping in willy-nilly. I need to have a reason to enter a trade, right? Now here, is this sort of a reason? It could be, right? It's coming up to the top of these bodies of these candles, but I still got all this mess. This is not a good trading area overall, right? You really need to be patient. If I wanted a safer trade, not that there is such a thing, I would really want to get out of this mess up here before I even think about doing anything. At least get up here a little bit, right? So by jumping in like that, now I'm down $85 that quick, right? And I didn't have my stop loss. Fortunately, TradingView allows you to drag and drop it. Oh, look, there's take profit. I can go up here and take profit if I want, right? For those of you like ask me about the take profit. I can lose 145 or I can make 145, right? In case this shoots up automatically. Again, I don't like using it. I don't want to limit my upside. I do want to limit my downside, right, in this trade. Thing. See that, how that saved me? If that had been real money, right? If it would pull down real fast. So that's how that works. That's why you trade it. You want to protect your downside. Now that was only a 25 tick stop. I need a little bit bigger, because right now we're at a minimum of 25 average. So I actually needed like a 30 or 35 on that trade. I didn't adjust it. So that's how you do that, right? And I'm using all these tools. I was jumping in willy-nilly, ignoring all my tools that this is telling me about entering a trade. I mean, I kind of did verbalize this is kind of a trashy area to get into right now, right? So, and that's where your decision making. Do I really want to enter? Would it behoove me just to sit out until this moves one way or the other, either up above that or way below this and get in? Probably, right? You can see how volatile that was there. All right. So much lag this time of the day. Yeah, it can be. Wall Street. Let's see. What do you got to say today there, Wall Street? Yeah, Vortex play. Yep. Daryl Jones, good to see you back. Brand new to this. Sorry I was asking, but are green candles being bought? Okay, well, that's a good question. So what is a candle, right? We talk about these candles, all right? You can make these any color you want. Some people use black and white, whatever. But yes, the green candles means the price is going up. Red candles, the price is coming down, okay? The basic structure of a candle, let's use this one right here, right? So what this is, this candle started its price at, and you look over here, it'll show you, right? So this is the opening price of this candle. The top of the body, this is the body, the solid part, is where the price closed on that candle, okay? Now, you see these long things sticking out? What do those look like? If these are candles, what sticks out of the top of a candle? There, Daryl. What sticks out of the top of a candle?
Wick.
A wick, right? And that's what these are called, wicks. What wicks show you is the total movement, price movement of that candle. So this started here. Well, this actually started here. I don't want to confuse you yet. Anyway, this started here, right? And it ended here. So that's the beginning price of that candle. That's the ending price. This wick, you can see on the top. There's a real little one here on the bottom. If I really make this a lot bigger, you might be able to see it, right? Let me slide this over here, make it extra big. The wick at the top, the wick at the bottom is how much the actual candle fluctuated in price during this 1 minute period, because these are one minute chart. Each candle represents 1 minute of time, okay? So this candle actually shot clear up here, pulled back, it came clear down here and went back up. But it started here and finished there. So that's the total movement of that candle, right? Now, so a green candle, the price starts at the bottom. Okay, this was the beginning price. This was the ending price. On a red candle, in other words, it's going down, the starting price is actually the top of the candle. Okay? And the finishing price is at the bottom of the candle, just the inverse. And the wicks are the same thing, shows the total movement. Now, there's a lot to reading candles. There's patterns that form. There's engulfing candles. There's these candles. You could have a spinning top. You can call that a spinning top. Somebody might call it something different, where you have candle wicks sticking out of both sides. You can have what they call doji candles, where there's really the price finished and started at the exact same amount, kind of close to this one. You could call this a doji or a hammer or whatever, right? A doji will be just like a line this way and a line that way, a true doji. It's neither good nor bad. It didn't move at all, basically, is what it's telling you. So there's all these candles have names assigned to them. Here's a doji right here. See this, how this looks like a cross? So it finished the same place it started, right? It was they were indecisive of what to do with the price at that moment. The buyers and the sellers could not agree. It was bought and sold at the exact same price. So these people bought in down here, right? Bought here, sold out, up there. These people sold off, right? So now, to be able to buy something, somebody has to have it already in hand to be able to sell it to them, right? And for a seller to be able to get out of his trade, he has to have a buyer that was willing to pay for it. It's just like going to an auction, right? The seller says, I got this, give me 5, give me 5, give me 3, give me 5, give me 55, right? And the buyer says, okay, I'll buy it there, raises his hand, and they buy it off him at that set price. That's what causes all this price movement. It's negotiated. It's kind of like an auction, right? What am I willing to sell it for? What am I willing to pay for it? Is there somebody willing to pay for it what I want to sell it at, right? So that's what you get. So in that regard. So that's basically a candle. Now, again, you can dive deeper into this. What are these candles called? There's patterns on candles. There's engulfing candles. There's reversal candles. There's all kinds of, there's hundreds of things, right? Matter of fact, if you go to our Discord, there's an excellent book called Know These 14 Candle Patterns Before Making a Trade, right? And it teaches you what does these things mean? What is it most likely to happen next because I see this type of candle, right? And it can kind of give you a heads up, hey, something's about to happen, right? Do I worry about all that? Absolutely not. I don't personally. Why? Because I'm a scalper. I'm in it to win it on whatever momentum it gives me, right? Now, am I aware of what's going on with these? Yeah. But what do I really focus on? I'm focusing on the candle movement. Where's my indicators and where's my historical levels? I don't care that this is an engulfing candle. I don't care that that's a spinning top. Now, maybe subconsciously I do, and I am processing that, but I'm not actively thinking, oh my God, there's a doji. What do I do now, right? I don't do that. A lot of traders do, and it makes you a better trader to understand those because that can be involved in your trading strategy and your decision making in what to stay in a trade. All these little things make you a better trader. It's just that I don't actively think about it personally. I'm trading off levels. When it breaks a level, I'll get in a trade. If it approaches a level, I might get out of the trade, right? If I'm waiting on this to get above this certain indicator, then I won't enter the trade until it does, right? I don't care if it does it on an engulfing candle or a hot dog candle or whatever, right? I don't care, personally. That doesn't mean those things aren't important because I don't actively use it. I understand it. I can explain it, but that's not part of the way I trade personally, okay? But you need to know those things. The more educated you are on all things in trading, the better trader you will be. And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time to learn all those things, right? And we all learn at different levels. Some of us learn by reading a book. Some of us learn by watching videos. Some of us learn by listening to others describe things, right? You're here listening to a live broadcast, right? So it's a combination of some old dude on the interwebs running his mouth nonstop, wondering how he can talk that long on one breath, right? And a visual at the same time, right? So you have a combination of the two. So everybody has their own way they learn things. Mr. Doug, can you help signal Queen out the door, please? No warning there in the TikTok. Or I can do it. Thank you for coming to play, but you don't come to our house and offer to sell something, especially singles. We are not a signal. We're not a call-out group here. We're an education group. So we're just going to go ahead and say goodbye and part company now. No warnings. Come into other people's house. You should know the rules before that. Thank you. Goodbye,
Yeah.
Felicia.
I got it. I got it.
There, look at that big gamma candle. Look at that. See, I looked away. Look at that. I looked away and I missed out on that money. Doggone it again, right? See that? Not real money. I wouldn't lose out on nothing. All right. So, yes, green candles are buyers, red candles are sellers. And you'll see them go from red to green within one trade, within that same time period. You'll see it fluctuate. This candle could come right down and go red. It's where it finishes at. It's what determines the movement. When I'm scalping, am I doing the limit orders? No. I trade exclusively with market orders. Is that the best way? It's debatable. Probably not. But with limit orders, I can miss out on trades also, right? Now, can I set a limit order to buy when it gets up to here only, which is where I would get in anyway? Yeah, I could do that, right? But I do exclusive market. Now, the danger of that is, and I kind of missed an opportunity to show you what that is. Let's just say I want to enter this. I'm going to see if this thing pops. It doesn't always give you the best fills because you're at the mercy of this candle movement. If this thing suddenly moves real fast, I'm not going to get a good fill. Now, if it's just moving normal, it's not that big of a deal, right? So when it's doing this kind of thing, if it's moving slow, I'll get a good fill. But I get these big candles, I may not get the world's best fill. See this one here? That one's pretty good, right? At -5 because of the fees, right? So that one didn't move on. So I got a really good fill. But if I get some of these other candles that take off, I may click the button here, but it may not fill me till up here, right? That's the danger of market orders. You get filled wherever that candle is at the moment you buy it, right? And if it's shooting up rapidly, you're going to get a higher price. And you'll complain, oh, that was a lousy fill. No, it filled you where it was at the time that you clicked the button, right? So that's the danger of market orders. But that's how I trade. I ain't got time to come over here and set a limit order or come over here on a price ladder and come over here. Well, I want to buy it when it hits 309.4, right? Or whatever, right? I'll go to 309.2. Now, there you go. It's not going to fill my order there till now it's filled. It hit that level, right? So now my orders was filled. So you can do that. And you could set this wherever I want, right? I can go up here, go up above, right? And set wherever I want, right? So I can use this depth of market, or as people call it, a price ladder. I can come up here, tell it to buy me an order if I want. Up here, a limit order to the downside right there if I want. And it'll fill your order when it gets down there. So you can pre-select. You can actually manually go in and type in this order here. I can go a limit, right? And I can type in where I want it to fill at, right? It's always going to fill you at the best, but so if I want to wait for it to fill down here, I can tell it to make it do that. I can put in stop orders. There's all kinds of different orders, right, that you can put in. I just do market. I'm in and out. Bang, right? Bang, bang. In, right? When I click this, I'm getting out on a market order, right? Bang. It's closing me on a market order. Why? Because it's already set there to that. That's just how I do. Does it cost me profits? Yeah, probably. It's not the best fills all the time, but generally I don't complain about it too much. What platform do I use to trade? I use two different ones, Webull and Tradeovate. I like them both. They both have their advantages and disadvantages, but they're both very easy to use once you learn how to use them. All right, good. So gold's kind of just settled down now. What else is moving? Let's take a look, see something else. Well, it looks like the indices are flat. ES is flat now. NQ is kind of hanging out up there. Let's take a look at the Russell real quick. And NQ, which is the micro Russell. As soon as this loads up, there we go. Reset my chart here. It's on a downward motion, right? We are in power hour, so this thing can take some wild swings at any time, up or down. Or it may not do anything. You just don't know. You should not trade during power hour. It's too volatile. It's one of the most volatile times of the day. If you do, you better know what you're doing, right? So that's why one of coaches' rules, never trade in the market open, never trade at market close time. Why? Because there's no sense wrecking your account because you got into a highly volatile trade and have it go against you, right? Where you had 8 other hours you could have traded in a normal market situation, right? Can I come up here and go as short on this? Yep, I can go like that. I can click that button over there. See how that put that in? These buttons are already pre-programmed with a 75 stop loss. I don't know why that's there, because it was a high volatile day last time I did that. 5 contracts, right? There's my stop loss. Do I need that high of a stop loss? No, not even half of that. So what I'm going to do is slide my stop down manually right here, just right around to 21 to give it some room to breathe. You can see where these candles kind of were at. So I just jumped in this willy-nilly, by the way. I just wanted to show you I can use these buttons. I can get exit this trade by clicking the opposite, right? I'm in a short. All I can do is come up here, click the long button. Bang, gets me out of the trade. Boom, just like that, right? Or I can use this to enter the trade this way. Bang, there's my trade. And I can get out of my trade this way. Bang. Or I can get into trade this way, same way, right? And I can use my stop and slide it down once I'm into profit, right? I let go, it'll lock in my profit. Now again, I got to give it time to get there first. And I showed you that earlier, right? Let's see if we can get a good drop where I can show that in action or not. But you can't slide it down too soon because you got to allow for normal candle movement. Right now, I know that thing can move 23 ticks, basically $4, right? 4 points. So I got to give it room to breathe. If I slide this down too soon, then I'm going to lose money, right? So, but I have my stop. So once I have my stops pre-programmed, I never move it away. I don't want to give it a hope it'll bounce here. That's how you wreck your account. You let your stop do its job. If that means stopping you out, then so be it. It did its job. It's limiting my losses. Right? I'm up a whole $17.50, right? So I can come down and use my stop, slide it down to lock in my profits. So right now, if this pulls back, I'm guaranteed $7.50. But if I click out right now, I can take $17.50. Well, why don't you do that? Well, I do that. That's how I exit my trades. I click this button, right? I very rarely do this, moving my stop. Coach does it all the time. And I will on big runners, all right? I'll slide it down. You just got to watch. And now you can get 15 out of 20 when this pulls back. And it'll lock that profit in. I'll leave it set there in case it pulls back. But if it continues down, I'll slide it down some more, right? Rinse and repeat. Reason I don't like doing this personally, and I do it, but not very often, is because the time when I grab this, my stop is still here. Until I draw this down where I want it and let go, it still thinks it's back up here. Oops, guess what? I let go. I didn't realize that. That's the other danger when you're sliding things around, right? I broke contact with it. So it's just one other thing that you got to deal with. I'd rather just park my mouse right on my, on the buy button where my order's at and just click this little X to get out, or leave my mouse over here, which is actually a better way. I can click this and then I can re-enter a trade that much quicker, right? If I'm doing this, now I got to go over here, right? Or if I'm using my trade widget, right? I click here, now I got to slide over here. So it's best I can just go right here, back and forth, or use these turbo buttons. With a quick flip of the wrist, I can exit and enter a trade, right? So I can get in here. I bought long, see it's blue, it says 5. So I can go sell it, right? Buy it, sell it, that quick. All I had to do is move my wrist just a quarter of an inch and I get in and out of trades all day long that way. If I'm doing this and moving over here, moving back, right, I'm liable to miss the button, right? And I have missed by doing that, just hovering over the mouse, this little trade widget here. You can see what a small target that is, right? I got to have my finger on that to close the trade out, right? Wouldn't you rather use bigger buttons, right? So, but over here with this type of widget, I got to click that and then come clear down here to trip it. Now I can do the same thing over here. I can go, it's the same as these buttons, right? There's this thing's in the road here. There's a buy and sell button right here, right? Buy, sell. I can do the same thing back and forth, right? Do that all day long. And it'll execute the same amount of 5 shares, 5 contracts, right? With a 75 tick stop every time. So there's lots of ways to improve your entries and exits on a trade. Most of the time I sit here and I just do that. And I click that actual button, right? And it fills the order. So I'd rather do it that way rather than getting up here sliding things around, right? It's just less work. I'm lazy. Sorry, I'm lazy. I want to find the quickest way I can do it. Now, there's another thing that you can do You know, you can, now this takes skill. I don't recommend somebody new doing this. All right. I can click this button right here, right? If I click and let go of the mouse, it's going to execute the trade. It's going to close my trade out. What I can do to increase the speed of execution, I can put my button on there, push down on my mouse like I am going to exit the trade for profit, right? But hold the button down. Right now, I have pressed my button, and so all I got to do is make one motion upward instead of, pushing down and releasing. That cuts my click rate in half doing that, right? All I got to do is lift my finger up, bang, it's executed a trade, right? So that will cut your time. There's all kinds of ways to cut time down, right? So now I'm down here at the bottom of this double bottom. Do I think I might get a double bottom bounce? Well, we'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger on here, and I'm going to see if this bounces temporarily. If it does, I'm going to look for it to bounce to that 9 EMA, which is that white line pointing down. I'm going to get out if it bounces back up there. Now, it may not. I don't know. But either way, if this decides to break through, I can let go of this button and get out of the trade quicker, right? So let me see if I get a bounce. It's sitting here too long, so I'm probably not going to get a bounce. That's a good indication. It's not going to reverse right there right now. Now, my line may be a little bit off. If you look to the left there, you see that green candle to the left. And that line's a little off. So I'm going to wait, give it a second here, and see if this comes back up. But I'm still holding my mouse button down. Now, the danger in this is, what if it slows down like it did right now? Now I'm holding my mouse button down. Eventually, my finger is going to get tired, right? So to get out of that, we found that you can move off of that and let go. And as long as you move off of it while holding the mouse down, it will execute the trade. There's another little trick. Thank you very much. You're welcome. So I can still do this, right? Now, it looks like it's not going to bounce, obviously. If it hasn't bounced by now, it's not going to, right? This line could be down here a little bit. This line just needs tweaked a little, right? Probably needs to be about right there, right? So there's a little bit of a bounce. So there's a little bit of a pullback. I got my button depressed. As soon as this thing turns green, I'll take whatever it is and lock into my profit. But because I have the mouse pushed down, see how much quicker? I was able to lock in at $15 instantly. Just a little tip. Just make sure that if you do that, what you have to do when you're in this trade, once you depress the mouse button, if you change your mind and you want to, oh boy, I got to wait. Make sure you, while holding the mouse button down, you move away from this, right? And then let go. If not, it's going to execute your trade, right? So, see that? I did that. It's still there. As long as you move off of it, right? Now I can do that and click out. So there's all kinds of little needs and tips and tricks you can do to do that. Did you know how to do that? There you go. At no extra charge. By the way, you can get our free 7-day trial memberships over at our website, AmericanDreamTrading.com. Right at the top of our website, you'll see our web page there. Click there for the memberships things, and we have 3 programs you can join absolutely free for 7 days. We have our premium membership, which is Trading with Coach, and the other trading moderators starting at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. We have our crypto membership, which they have their live Zoom trading on Wednesday night, 7:15 Eastern. And then we have the futures with me and the other trading moderators and paid members starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Totally free for 7 days. Go to our website. Join us now in our live Zoom trading, just like if you were a paid member. You get all the benefits and privileges of a paid member during your trial, right? And you get to join us live in the Zoom, see what goes on behind the curtain. What we're showing you here live is just the tip of the iceberg. You have no idea the resources and things that we have available. So you're only getting a 2-hour snippet, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. Taylor says, how many trades how much do I make on day trading? Well, how much do you make at your 9-to-5 job, right? I'm not going to answer that question. Say I do very well, right? It's just, I have a larger account, so I can trade large, right? Today on my small account, I'll tell you that amount. I made where's it at here? I netted $97.87 on my small account, right? Because I was talking and trading at the same time while I was trading. I was up well over that earlier in the day. And because I did some dumb things while I was talking, and just dumb things, period, I gave up a bunch of that profit. And basically took $300 of profit down to 100, right? That was on my small account. Now my large account, I traded earlier and made good money, right? I won't tell you what that is, right? Bang, bang, right? And that's my small account, right? Now, I didn't intend on losing $200 profit. That was my own stupidity, right? But those things happen. I'm still green for the day, $100 basically, right? On that small account. A large account, I won't tell you what that was because I'm trading a large amount of contracts on that. Is this the beginning of the crash? Did you hear a crash is coming? Do I do options? I know how to trade options. My first 2 years, that's all I did, stock options, stocks and stock options. This is futures. I'm only trading futures now. This is my jam for the last year. This is all I've done is trade futures. I love it. I probably will never trade options again. But never say never, obviously, right? By the way, Taylor, if I told you what I've made here recently, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So that's another reason I don't. Now, our paid members can tell you, they better not, but they know what I've made this year, right? So all our paid members do know that. Now, just because you become a paid member doesn't mean we're going to tell you. If you don't already know, I'm not going to share it with you, right? But paid members have followed my journey like we follow each other's journeys through time, right? As members get successful, we share together our excitement. Some people never say what they make, and others do. I'm more open with what I do on any given day. I do it right live in front of people, right, with my small account. And I do share my earnings on my large account. I'm not trading it right in front of live because I trade more focused when I'm doing that. Let's put it that way. That's the why. And I could do the same thing here. I could show you paper trading here. Well, I don't know if I didn't even look to see what the fake money is set at here. Let me look. Yeah, I might be able to. It might be enough there. So I can come here very easily and do something like this, right? I don't know if there's enough. I have to see what that was. Let me see if it takes this. I can trade 100 contracts of this, right? Hang on, let me get that in there. Is that fluctuating there? 35 stop loss, right? I don't see here whether I want to go the upside or the downside. The trend is down. If I scalp against it, then watch this, right? Bang, bang, right? I just put in 100 contracts. Right now, never mind. I'm on micros. Okay, never mind. That's why I was like, what? It's only $100? I'm on micros. I trade the E-minis, right, on my big account. That's all right. But you can see the difference on how much. See, this has only moved one little bit. I'm already up $200. I would never do this. You don't trade 100 micros. You buy 10 minis, right? So that was, well, let me show you the difference when you go to, if I go to the Russell RTY, right, and trade that instead, it'll take a second to load up, right? It makes a big difference, right? Now if I come in here, I don't know if there's enough in there to trade 100 in my fake account here. We'll find out here in a second. So I want you to watch how fast these, there it is. Okay, so my 25 tick means I'm willing to accept a loss for $12,000 on this trade if it happens to pull back. You can see right now I'm already down 2,000 that quick. Now I'm up 500. See how fast 100 contracts move, right? This is kind of what I do, right? Do I always trade 100 contracts? No, but I can, right? Can I trade more? Yeah, but I don't. I haven't gone much above that. So, but look how fast the numbers go on an E-mini. There's 100 of these, right? It's a lot of money, right? That is fake money, right? I'm not about to trade 100 contracts live, right? Why I'm distracted and talking to you guys, right? I'm in there, I'm focused. I ain't talking to nobody, right? Paid members. I don't talk nothing. They'll say, hey, Mark, and I don't answer. They know I'm in a trade, right? Go away. Go away. I don't say it, but when you don't say nothing, you ask somebody a question, and they don't answer, you know they're in a trade. And we know, and we've learned not to bother that person, right? Because we know they're in a trade, they need to concentrate. So this one is not moving that much right now, but if this thing shoots up here, take profit. If this just moves up to this next line, how much money is that I would make on this trade? $27,500. Okay, So that's the power of larger contracts, right? Now again, I didn't get to this point overnight, okay? And again, this is fake money I'm showing you here anyway, right? Oh, look, I made $10,000 on my fake account. Well, whoopee ding dong, right? So, but, you know, you trade with what you have and what experience you have, right? Why the Russell versus NQ? No reason. I was just showing it as an example. NQ and gold are my two favorite, pretty much right now. Now, my smaller account, I've been trading the Russell and the Dow here recently, and gold still. I kind of like it. It's a little slower, right? Less risk on my small account, less volatile, less money lost per movement, right? Of course, you don't gain as much either. With risk comes reward, right? So, NVIDIA. Yeah, what about it? You got question marks. What do you want to know about NVIDIA there, Bulova? I know what NVIDIA is. Do I enter my trades on a 1 minute? For the most part, yeah, because I'm a scalper. I do scalp on the 2 minute also. That's about my limit, though. I don't go usually any higher or lower than either one of them. 1 to 2 minute. If I'm in a 2 minute, you know, it's actually, I found that scalping on a 2 minute is pretty good too, because it's more calming. It's not as volatile. The candles aren't moving as much, right? So, all right. What else we got? What's going on? Oh, I forgot to scroll down on YouTube. Sorry. Yes, I was ignoring the YouTube. Sorry. TikTok's been firing questions left and right. A lot of good questions over there. Oh, let's see who's here. Juan's here. All right. What's up? Big money day with ADT. You better believe it. Hopefully that means you too. Green. Reading questions. Take advantage of that diamond membership. Yes, it is. Very well worth it. $5,000 one-time payment. You get all of our memberships for life. Okay. Bender Blue League. Why don't you juggle while riding a bicycle? Because I'm doppy. I'm lucky I can walk up a flight of steps without falling down. Our members know that for a fact. I was coming down them and fell down. Month. Yes, Van Halen was the correct answer to that question that I asked earlier. I'm sorry, I keep looking over to YouTube's and I never scrolled up. Do you determine your exits? Juan wants to know off the indicators or resistance? Yes, both. It's all part of the total big picture, right? But it's not exclusive of the one or the other, okay? Christina, oh, I'm sorry, dear, I missed you. Are you still here? Good to see you, Christina, over there in the YouTubes. Crap, that was a half hour ago. I don't know if you're still here.
Hola, amigo.
Mister.
Now I get to shit on you for your shitty work.
What?
Somebody mute that mic, please.
No.
All right. Hey, Eric, what's up, buddy? How was the gold live chat today there? Pretty good. Apple chat, do good? All right. Oh, he did 13% on his total account. What a day, Eric. Great day. Christina said, awesome. As long as you don't doze off. Oh, you're still here, Christina. Hi, Christina. Miss your voice. See you back soon. You know, we're thinking about you all the time. You know we are. Matter of fact, we talk about you all the time and we're not saying kind things either. We're making fun of you. We don't stop. Right? Do we, guys? Oh, wait. That was just me. That was just me saying things about you, Christina. You know me. No, we're not. All right. Good. Good to see you. All right. JR says, always learning from you guys. Thank you for those kind words. What indicators do I prefer? I prefer the 9 EMA, 21 to the next effect, but the 200 in VWAP, and my historical levels. And I also like my trend channel here too, trend channel indicator. This is all built into Coach's 3.0 indicators, which come with your paid membership for VIP and higher memberships. It's automatically included with your paid membership. Now, TradingView, you have to buy a subscription. That's on your own. This is an independent charting software. It has nothing to do with American Dream Trading. I don't make a dime if you go get a subscription to that, right? So, all right. Yes, James, what's up with that? Let me refresh it. Do I have to do, you know what, give a pep talk to YouTubers over there? I see we only have 50% thumbs up over there on the YouTubes. What is up with that? Don't make me come over there. All right. Click on thumbs up, right? Yeah, I prefer the 9. I trade off the 9 and somewhat the 21 if it breaks below the 9. And VWAP and the 200, which is this yellow line, the blue line, and my historical levels. Those are my main things I look at because I'm a scalper, and it's what I use to break and hold of the 9 is my main entry point. See, if I'd have been here and did a break and hold of the 9 here, I could have been in that trade and rode that all the way up on NQ, right? Same way here. Did a break and hold below the 9 here, and then I could have rode that for a big profit on the way down. Could have get the break and hold here. Well, it broke, but it didn't hold, right? So I wouldn't have been in that trade. Did it break and hold below? Not really, right? Didn't have one up. Now I'm having a break. Here's a hold on this trade. If this has some oomph to it, it may be a possibility for a trade, right? And I can see what happens here, right? We'll get in that trade, and there I am making money as we speak, right? On the break and hold. Now, I did enter that a little risky because it was right there at the 55, right? Now, I got to watch up here. I can see visually these candles right here, a little minor top there. So I might lock in some profits just because I see that. If this pauses here, I'm going to see what this next candle is here in the next 8 seconds. See if this opens up higher than the previous candle. If it starts on the shoulder of this candle, I'll stay in the trade. If not, I'm getting out. And it's already pulling back. It didn't start on the shoulder. I'm getting out. I could have took more profit, but I was trying to show a point there. But so I got out of that trade. It just happened to pull back a lot. But I still made money on that trade. Fake money, but I made money, right? Breaking hold of the 9. Now, I'll give it some time. If it wants to continue onward, I can re-enter the trade if I want to, right? Just that quick. Bang, bang, that was whatever that said, $1,600. I don't need to be doing whatever this is, 25 contracts of NQ, right? That's what that was. Alrighty now. How many of you have gone over to American Dream Trading's website, which is americandreamtrading.com? Grab them free 7-day trials, absolutely free for the first 7 days. If you cancel any time before those 7 days, there is absolutely zero cost. And the added benefit to you is you get all the privileges and benefit of a paid membership for up to 7 days. That gets you in our live Zoom calls with Coach and the other trading moderators starting at 8:45 each and every morning. Get you, if you do the futures, we start training and trading at 8:30 a.m. live in a Zoom call. Cryptos has theirs Wednesday nights, 7:15, right? So what are you waiting on? Get over there and get that. Make sure when you get in there, you get to Discord because that's where we post our live Zoom links at. So you have to be in our free Discord. And by the way, the Discord's always free. Even if you're not a paid member, you can join our Discord and interact and discuss stock things in there for absolutely free forever. You don't have to be a paid member to do that. But you do need the Discord to be able to get into our live Zoom calls, right? Because that's what verifies your membership. It compares the two things. They're kind of linked together, in other words. All right, what else we got going on here? I'm going to lose my voice the more we speak. I know this is dumb. Well, there's no dumb question. But can you explain the 9 and the 200? Yeah, I did earlier, but I'll do it again. It's not the first, it won't be the last. The 9 is these lines here you see, I have the 9, the 21, and the 55. And I have the 200, and I also have VWAP. Those are indicators. That's what they're called, lagging indicators. What these measure is what's already happened. It's a trend line, right? It's a trend line just the same if I would draw a line from here up to here. That's the trend, right? Right now, I would say the trend is overall up, right? Until it breaks below this, right? So that's my trend line. That's a way to do that way. So if I want to go to the downside, I want to wait for it breaks the trend line and comes down here, breaks and holds below that, right? Or if I was doing it this way, right? Let's just say, whatever, right? Let's just say I connected these. I wouldn't enter the trade till it breaks above the trend line. So that's a trend line. So what you have is you have EMAs and MAs. EMA stands for exponential moving average. Doesn't really matter what it stands for, but there's SMAs also. But it's measuring the 9. Man, I'm starting to lose it here, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to be live here. The 9, which is this white line, is a 9 EMA. It is measuring the last 9 candles on my chart. Okay? And it's adding them all together, the prices and all that, and then it divides by 9 and it spits out a plot point on my chart. And it does that continuously, right? As the price moves, so does this, as you can see, right? Prices were higher up here, so the line's up higher on the chart, right? Prices dropped, and then the average price, this is an average price is what it is, right? Essentially. So that's what the average price was during this time, kind of. It's a trend, what it was. And the 21 takes 21 candles. The 55 takes 55 candles. The 200 takes the last 200 candles. That's a longer term look, right? And VWAP, which is up here somewhere, this yellow line, is the volume weighted average price. This is where the price should be right now, based on all the craziness today. So it's actually below it. It's in a downtrend. It dropped fast and far away. It hasn't caught up yet. So if this does stay down here over time, this will swing down also. And eventually it'll get down here. Just like the 200. See how the 200's coming down? So these are what they call lagging indicators. This is telling you what's already happened. But I use these to decide to make entries, right? Or not make an entry, okay? Just like this. I do the break and hold of the 9. That's one strategy that coach teaches. There's many strategies he teaches. That's one, right? So I wait when this breaks through, get in. Now this one didn't go very far and fell apart. No guarantee how far they're going to go up at any time, right? But you enter, and as long as it has some oomph, and there's other things I'm using to decide whether it's a good trade. Now, just like this, if I'm waiting a while, let's say I'm just now looking at this candle's up here, I'm not going to enter a trade because I have the second strongest indicator in my chart, the 200, is up there. And statistically, what will happen, this will influence traders. So this may very well come up here. If it does make it all the way, it'll either pause or it'll touch it and reject and pull back. So if I was in a trade thinking the price was going to go up and it hits that, well, it rejects and goes red on me, right? And I lose money. So to me, I'd rather wait a little bit, let it break and hold above that, and then continue on. Same way that I would use my lines and other indicators. So these are all part of my decision-making ability. Now, I know of through time and experience, right, and training from coach, I can take all this information and literally fractions of seconds to a few seconds and decide whether I want to enter a trade or not. Okay, I'm going to pop up gold. Right here's gold. Okay, I will tell you instantly whether I would enter this trade and why not, which takes longer to explain why not or why. Okay, bang. Do I enter this trade? No, I will not. Why? Because it has not broken out above the 9. I got a double top right here. I have this line right here. I'm going to wait for a break and hold above this. And then I have a lot of room to move up to the 52-week high end or the top of the trend channel. If I was going to enter to the downside, I wouldn't do so until it broke and held down here and write it down to the 200 or the bottom of this trend channel. Bang, bang. I made that decision. It takes longer to say it out loud than it does to say it in your brain, obviously, right? So right now, this would be a halfway decent place, right? And where am I at here? See, I wasn't set up to trade, but it's neither here nor there, right? So, I would already enter this trade. So this is a late entry, which is detrimental to my profit, right? I could wait on this break and hold. I could ride this up to about here. It'll probably pull back. This is why, knowing where your levels are at, I'll just let this go. We'll watch this candle, see if it does not indeed at least slow down, if not stop and pull back when it hits that. Watch that. I'm up $35 right now, right? So that line is $35 approximately profit on this trade that I got into actually late. I would have got in on this other candle for real. But so what's it doing? It's sitting there. See how it paused? Now, it doesn't mean it won't keep going through, but you see how that paused? That could very easily had rejected, and it cost me profit. Now, is it going to the moon? Not yet. It has to break and hold. I want to see another candle on the shoulder of this candle, and the odds of that happening are reduced because look at these right here. I got these candles. See? Where did that wick get to? Oh, look at that. Right at the top of them candles. So this happened exactly like I thought it would happen. Now, it doesn't mean it won't continue going. It hasn't stopped moving yet. So I'm going to stay in this trade. It just doesn't have the big volume boost at this moment, right? So now this is where I decide, when do I want to start taking profit? I'm looking at my L2 order book, You know, I can see there's a smaller, bigger order up at 312.8, which is right about here, right? I can pop a line right there just so you can see what I was talking about. Right now, a second ago, these changed continuously. There was an order setting here, a larger than normal selling order. And there's one at 13 also even, which is a couple ticks up there. So this may make it up to here where these sellers are at, right? So I can be a little patient here. You can see I don't have a stop loss, right? And institute that, it's there, right? Well, can I take profit? Well, yeah, I could. I could put take profit up here where I drew this line. I want it to sell when it hits there. Well, what about that order you said was at 313? Well, if it goes to 313, I'm screwed. I'm not going to enjoy that profit to the upside because I let my take profit stop me out. Now, maybe it won't get up there and I can get out this way. I can click this button to get out. Or I can slide my stop up and let it go and lock in guaranteed profit, right? And that's a good thing, right? Because maybe you'll miss the button and you'll lose out on your profit. So it is a good thing to slide that up once you get enough room for movement. You have to maintain a gap in there or this may just pull back for a second and stop you out of that trade, right? That's why I don't like using that much personally. It has, like I say, it has its advantages and disadvantages. I don't like take profit at all, right? So I just don't use it. So I'm just going to lock in them $40 right there, right? Now it may continue to go on up, but that's beside the point, right? So that's how that works. Thank you for that follow there, Urim Khan, over there on the TikToks. All right. What else we got going? All right. So who is headed over there to our website, American Dream Trading? Grab them free premium crypto or futures memberships, and you can join us live in our live training Zoom call is tomorrow morning at 8:30 for futures, or 8:45 if you want to do more of the stocks, the stock options kind of thing. They teach everything, but they're more focused on that. And we also have the crypto. What are you waiting on? Get over there and get it. AmericanDreamTrading.com. All right. Add it up, right? So those are all different ways you can do the same thing, right? And you need to know those things. It doesn't matter what broker you're using. You need to know, and they'll all have those type of features, some more than others, obviously. But you need to know how to use all them, because what if I go click on this button, there's some glitch, and I go click that and it doesn't fill an order? Well, I can come over here, right? Oh, I can sell right there, right? Bang, right? Got me out of the order that way, right? Well, let's say I go over here, click buy here, right? And I get in it, and I go to get out, and something's wrong, and this button doesn't work for some reason. It doesn't happen, but it can happen. It gets glitchy sometimes, right? Well, I can come over here and sell, right? Bang. So there's all these different ways I can get in and out of trades, and you need to know how and how to access them at any given time. In addition to knowing how to trade on your phone, right? How to use the software on your phone or your tablet. So those are all very important. All right, I do thank you. I'm going to cut this off because I'm really losing my voice here, and the more I talk, more stuffed up I'm getting. I do thank you all for being here. Great questions today. Your questions make the show more interesting, I hope. You know, I talk nonstop as it is, but if you give me something to talk about, it makes it better, right? And it answers things that you're wanting to know about, right? So I do thank you for being here. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same bat channel. We are live here 3 times daily. Coach is live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm live from 2 to 4. We have the aftermarket show starting at 4 p.m. pretty much right after this show over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. So head on over there. Also over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading, there's over 2,800 training videos that you can watch for absolutely free. So take advantage of that. There's all kinds of resources we give you for free. Can you imagine what we give our paid members? It will melt your mind. I guarantee it. Matter of fact, there's so much stuff that can be overwhelming if you allow it, right? So anyhow, you know, as you go through the remainder of your day and then people you run across, try to be a source of encouragement to that person. Lift them up. Don't tear them down. World's full of people want to tear others down for whatever reason, mostly because they have a black heart. Try to be that person that's an encourager, not a discourager. And the person you're talking to, even though they're smiling at you and all outward appearances appear happy and everything's good, you may actually be having one of the hardest times in their life and they're hiding it. So try to be an encourager, right? We will see you same time, same bat channel tomorrow. I'm glad you all could be here. And immediately following this broadcast you watch is automatically posted to our YouTube channel. Thank you all for being here, and goodbye.